This is Jake Tapper. This is from 1 week ago. He is on CNN. He's debating former PLO legal advisor Diana Buttu, and he is addressing the issue of why is Hamas doing what they're doing, and why aren't other Palestinians trying to stop them? So I want you to listen carefully to this interchange. We'll start with clip number 14.
Why is Hamas launching rockets into Israeli population centers, and are any other Palestinians trying to stop them from doing so?
As I've indicated, Jake, there have been attempts to try to stop all of this, but the fact of the matter is that the Israelis have indicated that they are not interested in brokering a ceasefire or seeing any ceasefire take shape whatsoever. So this isn't just a question of people coming together and stopping them, because the Israelis have indicated very clearly that they don't want to stop.
All right. Now, first thing, let's just understand that Israel has no reason to accept a ceasefire until Hamas has no ability to attack its civilians anymore. In other words, Israel could say, no, you launched cold-blooded, murderous attacks on our civilians. You kidnapped and killed 3 of our boys in cold blood. You launched rockets against us. You are attacking and targeting civilian populations. We're going to take you out so you can't do this anymore. Israel could say that. Israel doesn't have to accept a ceasefire, except the fact is that when the Egyptian government brokered a ceasefire, and it was supported by other parties and other Arab leaders, Israel said yes, and Hamas said no way. And then the UN said, okay, we just need a break. We need a 6-hour humanitarian break just to help care for people on the ground. Israel said, we accept the ceasefire for 6 hours, and Hamas goes on attacking. All right, let's go on with this dialogue. Clip number 15.
And there are reports of the spokesman of Hamas. We actually have the video of him going on Palestinian television, urging people to serve as human shields, staying in their homes, even if the IDF is warning people in those homes, because they're Hamas officials' homes, that they're going to be destroyed. They're telling them to stay there. Do you at all find that reprehensible, using women and children to be human shields to protect these homes?
All right. Great question. Here is a former legal advisor for PLO, Diana Buttu. She's being asked quite directly by Jake Tapper. Look, we've seen the footage. We've seen it. Hamas is telling people, go back to your homes. Israel's saying, leave. And Hamas is saying, stay. So clip number 16, how does Diana Buttu respond?
Jake, I haven't seen that video, but if that were the case, that would be reprehensible. I think that the bigger picture is that this isn't the case. What we have seen is over the course of the past couple of days, more than 80 Palestinians killed. The population of the Gaza Strip, 43% of it is under the age of 14. And we've seen that half of the people who've been killed are women and children. The idea that Palestinians use children as human shields is racist and reprehensible, and the idea that the Israelis are somehow spewing this and we're to believe it is also racist.
I'm looking at the transcript of the announcements. Hamas's Ministry of Interior spokesman Yad al-Buzu. All right, this is on their Facebook page, July 13th, 2014, answering the occupation's calls, meaning Israel's calls, will merely aid it in carrying out its plans to weaken the Palestinian home front and to destroy property and homes as soon as you leave them. We call on all our people who have left their homes to return to them immediately. Do you understand what's happening? Hamas and the PLO was famous for this. I mean, literally for cowering behind women's skirts. Here's the Israeli soldier. I mean, that's not an exaggerated picture, saying you're going to have to kill this woman to get to me. So Hamas will set up its rocket launchers in a school building or next to a hospital and store their materials in a home or set up leadership command in a home. And Israel, because of their advanced intelligence, will say, okay, we know you're there. Citizens, we don't want to hurt you. Leave. They rain down leaflets. They send out, they make phone calls. Leave. They will even drop a shell on a roof to say, we're going to bomb. Get out. Get out. And what does the Palestinian leadership or the Hamas leadership do? They say, go back. Go back. July 12th on the Facebook page, the Hamas Ministry of the Interior and National Security calls on our honorable people in all parts of the Gaza Strip to ignore the warnings to vacate areas near rocket launching sites before Israel bombs them, to ignore the warnings that are being disseminated by the Israeli occupation through manifestos and phone messages, as these are part of a psychological war meant to sow confusion on the Palestinian home front in light of the Israeli enemy's security failure and its confusion and bewilderment. So Israel's saying, leave, we don't want to hurt you. We don't want to hurt you. And the Hamas leadership is saying, go back, go back. So what about this charge? Diana Buttu says it's racist. Clip number 16. Let's hear the response.
Diana, it's not racist that we have video of the Hamas spokesman on television telling people to stay in their homes. It's an effective way to make sure to fight off the Israelis. That's not racist. That's just a fact.
Jake, I haven't seen the tape, first and foremost. And secondly, as I've indicated, that if this were the case, then that would be reprehensible. I somehow do not believe, though, that people are going to listen to somebody who says, stay inside while your house is being bombed. People don't want to die, Jake. And the fact that the Israelis continue to drop bombs on them doesn't make them want to die anymore. It's simply a fact that what the Israelis are doing is they're dropping bombs of a magnitude that we've never seen before on a captive civilian child population.
Captive civilian child population. By the way, there is a very high percentage of younger people. This is common in the Muslim world, in countries like Yemen and countries like Libya, and among the Palestinians. So there's a very high birth rate and a high number of younger people. But it is mind-boggling that she can say this, as if she doesn't know that the PLO did this very thing. PLO was famous for doing that in Lebanon and endangering the civilian population. And look, a Palestinian woman posted on my Facebook page the other day, Hamas is not using these people as human shields. They are willingly dying. She posted this. She said, long live Palestine. She said they are willingly standing with their leaders. So one more clip. Well, no, hang on. We've got a couple more, but I'm going to play one more right now. Clip number 18, Jake Tapper responding.
Well, it's horrific, but I can't believe that you tell me people don't want to die. There is a culture of martyrdom that we hear about all the time. One of the big differences between the horrific incident of Mohammed Qadir being killed and the 3 Israelis being killed is that whoever killed the 3 Israelis, it's possible that they will have streets named after them, and they'll get money from Hamas or from outside groups for killing the Israelis, whereas the Israeli government condemned the murder of Mohammed Qadir.
Right. Exactly right. Exactly right. And look, Americans see what's happening in Syria with militant Islam. We know the murderous spirit of al-Qaeda. We know the murderous spirit of the Taliban. We now see what's happening with ISIS and realize, okay, Hamas is like that. Hamas is in that category. So how are others going to stand with them? And as the Muslim world is divided into factions, it has been over the centuries, but extremely factionalized these days and in murderous ways, there is not a tremendous amount of sympathy throughout the Muslim world for the more radical forms of Islam. So how does Diana Buttu respond to this claim of a culture of martyrdom? Clip number 19.
Jake, I think that you're actually mistaking things. If you look inside Israel, there are more than 42 cities that have names of streets named after people who themselves have killed and very openly killed Palestinians and are proud for killing Palestinians. There isn't a culture of martyrdom, Jake. This is a situation in which Palestinians are being killed by the Israelis. Palestinians live and they want to live. They want to be able to live just like every other human being around the world. And this constant refrain of a culture of martyrdom is very offensive. Palestinians just want to live their lives as normal human beings. And the fact that this military occupation has gone on for such a long time is what is creating a situation which Palestinians are dying, not because they want to die, but because Israel's killing them.
Hamas to Israelis, November 2012. We love death more than you love life. The price will be high, sons of Zion. All of Palestine is ours. There is nothing here for you but death. Hamas and its military wing, the Al-Qassam brigades, have created videos with messages for Israelis which are being broadcast on Hamas's Al-Aqsa TV. One such message addressed Israeli soldiers. From the Al-Qassam brigades to the Zionist soldiers, the Al-Qassam brigades love death more than you love life. That is a culture of martyrdom. Radical Islam is very conducive to a culture of martyrdom. And that's why you have little Palestinian children saying they want to grow up and be a shaheed. They want to grow up and be a martyr witness. And that is their goal. How in the world could Diana Buttu deny this? Is she literally that ignorant of the culture of martyrdom that exists? Oh, yeah, your average person, your average Palestinian, your average human being wants to live and not die. Yes, of course. But of course there's a culture of martyrdom in Islam, especially in radical Islam. How many Hindu suicide bombers have you read about in the last 20 years? How many Buddhist suicide bombers have you read about? How many Christian suicide bombers have you read about? How many atheist suicide bombers? And on and on and on. Why so many Muslim suicide bombers? Because of a culture of martyrdom. Because of this idea that says that we can do the will of Allah and seal our eternal fate as being blessed by dying for the cause of Allah, dying in the path of Allah, and inflicting damage on the enemies of Allah, hence the justification in some parts of Islam for suicide bombers. Yes, a culture of martyrdom. It was a culture of martyrdom that led to 9/11 because those people said we will die killing others and thought that in doing so they would assure themselves a path to paradise. Come on. Please. If you're going to be a spokesman for the PLO, then either be an educated spokesperson, which I trust this person is, well, then be a truthful one. You can still get sympathy for the Palestinians and still say we need to find a solution. Just say Hamas is not good for them. It's for a military occupation. Israel unconditionally withdrew from Gaza. It's because of the murderous intent of the leadership of Gaza, Hamas, that Israel's had to have a military blockade and do other things. Why? To keep its people from being murdered.